Okay, let's go. I am Karina and welcome to this channel, Life Inside and Out. And I just want to get real. Most people aren't very happy in their lives. They struggle in one area or another. They might be good in their relationships, but they struggle with work or money. They might not like their bodies, but they have a good relationship. Or maybe they are like I was. I wasn't happy with anything. And that was life. I never thought I could be where I am today, where I can honestly say that I am truly happy and content with every area of my life. And I'm not even kidding. Seriously. So let's get real. What did I do? I passionately learned everything I could so far, because I continue to learn every day about me, about how I'm functioning, how I didn't function, why I didn't function, and why I am now functioning, and how I moved myself from that place to where I am today. And one of the things that has become extremely obvious to me through this process is the connection between mind, body, and heart. And that we are all three parts, and that we need to have a balance, harmony, coherence between these three parts. I see a lot of mentors and teachers and motivational, inspirational speakers and writers and authors and all of that in the world. And they are absolutely brilliant in their specific fields. And what we need to understand is that everybody is coming from where they were standing, with their own separate set of beliefs. We all have our belief systems, and all of them are completely unique. Not two people in this world have a belief system that is identical. Everyone is completely unique. Our belief system also controls our DNA. Not all of the DNA, some of it is inherited, some of it are in our genes, and controls how our bodies look like, and survival mode and instincts like that. But parts of our DNA is constantly changing. Whenever we learn something new, whenever we experience something new, parts of our DNA change. And this is a quite fascinating thing. But more than that, we have this communication system in place within ourselves, who we are, and we have been, over centuries, I would say, we have been moved away from that, from connecting with that, from understanding that, to the point where we now live in a world that is pretty much chaos. Every country, every region, every area are struggling with the results of this disconnection from who we truly are and from our life source, really. But who are we? Who am I? Who is this human being? And what do I know that you don't know? Well, maybe nothing. I don't know that. Maybe you understand more than I understand, or maybe your understanding is slightly different, and whatever it is, that's okay. I'm not here to say that you're wrong and I'm right. I'm just here to share my view on it, my experience of it, that comes from literally looking at every information I come across with as open mind and open heart as I possibly can, and testing it, trying it, analyzing it for myself. Because I needed to move from that place where I was, which was miserable, and struggling and full of hurt and pain. A place where I was so insecure and so desperate to be loved and to love that I lost myself completely. And we don't function when that happens, and there are several reasons why, and this is what I want to talk about on this channel, my understanding of it. And the beginning of that is the conclusion I have come to with all of this. And I've been listening and reading and listening to and reading so much from so many different areas, and I'm talking neuroscience, and I'm talking completely spiritual, and I'm talking biogenetics, and I'm talking, just looking at all this information and questioning it, and just looking at it from a place of what of this feels true to me. Because one thing I learned is that my mind is not very smart. It's excellent when it comes to storing information. It's fantastic when it comes to learning and analyzing from a strictly facts-based point of view. It's fantastic when it comes to keeping me alive, because let's face it, I'm still alive. And that's basically what the mind is there for. Our minds are there for analyzing and for keeping us alive. And this is where the problem also comes in, because we also have our bodies and we also have our hearts. We're mind, body and heart. And when we spend so much time in our minds, as we do, and research shows, I don't remember the exact numbers now, but it's something along the lines of 75 to 80% of human beings in the Western world, I think, but I would imagine of all people, because it's for different reasons. But 75-80% of human beings spend 75 to 80% of their time in survival mode. And what that means is that when we're in survival mode, we're in that mode where we're supposed to be when we're being chased by a tiger, or when our house is on fire, or when we are under a direct death threat. That's when we're supposed to move into our survival mode. And all other time, we're supposed to be in our hearts. And I say supposed because this is what I believe. You don't have to agree with me. I'm perfectly fine with that. But this is me talking from my experience, from all the knowledge that I have worked my way through in the last decade or more. And this survival mode, when we're in that, parts of our brains shut off the communication. We literally can't access our logical thinking, and we can't access all the information that we have collected about the situation. And we also shut off our hearts. We literally have an energetic field visible in scans, in energy scans, surrounding our hearts. And when we're in survival mode, this communication shuts off. We also have brain cells in our hearts, and we have more neuropathways going from our hearts to our minds than the other way around. And we are not designed by accident in any way. The human body and how we function in our organs are an exact science. There's nothing happenstance or nothing just coincidental about how we function. So the fact that we have more neural pathways going from our hearts to our minds literally means something to me. It means that our main intelligence, our main source of communication should be through our hearts. And when this is shut off, which it always is when we're in survival mode, because we can't be in our hearts because we're too vulnerable, we also can't access our true intelligence, which means that we make decisions from a place of fear. And when we make decisions and when we act from a place of fear, we move towards it, because that's one of the other things that I've learned through doing all this. And it's that we move towards what we move from. So when we move from a place of fear, from a place of worry, from a place of lack, anger, frustration, we move towards the same things. Not the same things, but the same type of experiences, the same type of emotions, of the same type of feelings. When we move from our hearts, we move from a place of love, appreciation, acceptance, and a place of joy, excitement, and we move towards those things. This means that we move towards experiencing more things that brings us more reasons to feel love and appreciation, joy and excitement and all that. And what I've come to understand is so many things, and there's so many angles to it, and there's so much to talk about, so many reasons for why we are where we are, and so many ways that can help us move out of that place and into the place of being in complete harmony, coherence, balance between mind, heart and body, which is our ultimate place to be in my experience. I do this with my coaching clients. I am a transformational coach that work with the mind-body connection and how to move ourselves from the place we are, where we don't live our full lives, to where we want to be, to becoming more of who we are, of who we want to be, and who we feel inside is true for us. So I've gone through a lot of ups and a lot of downs, and mostly downs before I started doing this. After I started doing this, it's been more and more up, and I can't even, even through all this going on in the world, I'm better than I ever was before. But the difference between my life now and my life a decade or 12 years ago is literally like night and day. And I want that for you, or at least I want to give you the opportunity to move yourself a little bit closer to where you want to be. I know that watching these videos with an open mind and an open heart, as open as you can, because it takes a long, it doesn't take a long time, but it takes an intention, and it takes a dedication to walk this path. And it's not always easy, and it's not always satisfactory. Is that even the phrase to say? Either way, I don't even care. But it's worth it. It's worth every minute, because I never expected to be this happy and content with my life. I have a relationship with myself that I adore. I love my body, I love my mind, and I love my heart. I love everything that I am. I love my relationship with my partner, and my relationship with my son, and my relationship with my family and with my friends. I love all of them. I love my life and what I do. I love that I live passionately, doing what I love doing, which is this, helping other people move from where they don't want to be to where they want to be. And I have no control over what other people do with the information I share. This is your responsibility. I'm just sharing. You are the one that takes what you like and leave the rest. Maybe you will allow me to walk you through this, to guide you through this, and maybe I will hold some of the pieces to your puzzle. I will not hold all of them. Nobody does, except for you. That's another thing that I've learned from all this work that I've done. This inner work, because we create our lives from the inside and out. Which is why my channel is called Life Inside and Out, because we literally live it from the inside and out. And I'm going to talk more about that, because there's a lot more to this than just the mind, body and heart. But this is the best place to start, because once we have a communication between the three, a connection with the three, once that's rolling, things will start becoming easier in one way or another. And the most important part of everything is how you feel. Literally, it's how you feel. If you feel not good in any way, then this is for you. And if you feel good in every way, and honestly feel good in every way, then congratulations to you, because you are a minority. And I bow to you, because it's not an easy task to get to this place. Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm excited to talk more about this, to share about this. I'm excited to see this channel, these videos take form. And this is the first one. It's the format will probably change because life change, my understanding changes, and I change, and you change, and the world is changing. And what we need is love and understanding. We need connection, not just on Facebook and Twitter, not through moving from a place of anger and hate and frustration, because we only get more of that, as I said. We only get more of that. We want to move from love, from compassion, and I want to end this video by saying that if you find this intriguing, if this triggers you in any way, negatively or positively, that's up to you. I see everything as positive, because every single experience holds the opportunity for me to move myself closer to where I want to be, or to move myself further away from it. And the power to choose which one is completely mine. I choose what I want to do with every moment of my life. And one of the inspirations for this channel, and you will see this in my banner once I get this, once we get this done. And it's a quote by Maya Angelou. And Maya Angelou had a lot of wise words to say. She was a very wise woman that had led a very tough life. This is one of my favorite quotes of all times. And I love quotes, by the way, so you'll probably hear more quotes. But this is the quote. "My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style." Oh, that just gives me the chills. Okay, so I hope I get to see you back on this channel. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, click the notification bell. What else? Comment. Just comment. Ask me a question. What do you want me to talk about? What are your questions and worries and fears? And what is your take on life? How do you want to feel? And where are you now? Are you close to that? Do you know how to move yourself from feeling what you're feeling now to feeling what you want to feel? From living the life you're living now to living it the way you want to live it. Because I do know how to move myself, and I do know how to help others move there too. And I can't see what you're doing with this information that I will be sharing. It's your responsibility, like I said. So don't blame me if things aren't the way you want them to be in a month or two, even if you're watching my channel. Because it takes time. It took me a decade, almost. Well, yeah, pretty much a decade really of dedicated work. It won't take that long for you if you follow my lead, because it took me that long because I needed to understand all the ins and outs of it, and I still don't, by the way. And you will probably experience at some points where I had said something in an earlier video and now I'm saying something different in a later video on the same subject or a similar subject, and that's okay, because I change my understanding of this constantly, because I am an evolving being. I expand, I evolve, I constantly move myself into a better position for how I want to live my life and who I want to be. So that includes looking at all the information and reassessing what I already thought I knew. And sometimes it comes out as something different than it was. And that's what brought me here. So this is what will bring me to my next step. And again, welcome. I will be rambling a lot, like you probably noticed by now. And just go out there, give this some thought. Think about, where do you move from when you take action? in your daily life? Do you move from a place of fear and lack and fear of lack? Or do you move from a place of love and appreciation for what you've got and who you are? Bye.